Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bozak,
Here.
Commissioner Enslin,
Here.
Commissioner Loving, Commissioner McCart,
Here.
Commissioner Tublin,
Here.
Commissioner Redmond,
Approval of minutes, September 13th, 2023.
Make motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Tublin,
Yes.
Commissioner Enslin,
Yes.
Commissioner McCart,
Yes.
Commissioner Loving, Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Any commissioners have any reports today?
No, thank you.
Jane, do you have anything for us today?
I was hopeful that I would be able to get you some more clarification on the budget has to match your plan. If it doesn't, you can't buy it, spend it, deviate from the plan. AIM Summit didn't cover that. I do have virtual training next week, and there are 2 RDC/TIF type classes offered at that. And so we'll see if they'll talk about that, and if they don't, if I can bring it up and see if I can't get some better understanding of the plan. Because as you guys both know, or all of you, if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you, no, there are plans out there for the redevelopment commission. That's how you get your TIF funds. You had to have a plan on how you're gonna use these TIF funds. So I'm gonna try and get some clarification. I'm still working on that.
Okay.
And I sent you or forwarded all of you an email. I think, you know what? I think I might not have been. I'm sorry.
I've only gotten one.
I apologize. I used to do in council and Brad. Sorry, I will get better with that.
Do
And
we, could we get a group email for this board?
Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
you get to kick me twice now. Jill, I know Jill has one. I just usually, I'm not gonna have it. It's usually council members and Brad,
Yeah.
right? And so I've got to get, and I'll get better at that and make sure I include you.
It's just, I just thought it might be easier if we had a group, like we have the group council email address.
Sure.
Or whatnot, if that makes it easier than remembering which one of Brad's 7 email addresses to email.
Okay.
You just let us know when you want to have a group email, okay?
So I will repeat what happened in the email. Brad had asked about the possibility of setting up a TIF fund, a trust fund for future maintenance on trails. Your TIF revenue, which is one of the main revenues you receive as this board, has to be for, it can't be for maintenance. It has to be for, capital projects in general. It can't be maintenance. So that is does not look to be an option. The second revenue that you get is tax abatement fees, and the resolutions that the council has adopted and the redevelopment commission have adopted. I think it's council has adopted, and the state statute says it's for economic development. So there's that gray area of, can you even set it aside for maintenance as well? So we talked about, well, can we create some type of donation, and then you guys could set it up and put, some type of designation on it, and that of course is an option, certainly, depending on people's generosity. But I believe Clay said in the previous meeting, I wasn't in attendance, that, the council, or the town, I should say, is in charge of maintaining those trails now that they're in. So they just need to budget for that, and let's cross our fingers they don't have to worry about maintaining them anytime soon since they're newly paved. But certainly, just like they budget for paving roads, they can budget for paving trails or repairs to trails and that type of thing, knowing that one council may choose to do this, set this money aside and do this. The next council that comes in can can reverse that. It's, you know, at their pleasure of how the money is spent. I CC'd or emailed Matt from our Baker Tilly and asked him, am I missing something? Is there something I'm overlooking since we have not created a trust fund in the past? And he said he could research it more, but of course that comes with a cost. So I wanted to chat with you guys first. There are a couple of colleagues of mine that I think have done something similar to this. They're in southern Indiana, they are casino towns, so they have some money. And I believe Whiting might have done something interesting with BP money. And so I could certainly reach out to colleagues and see if they have some experience in this kind of idea. And that would just cost some time, and I can do that. And see if I can come up with something before you guys decide whether or not you want to move forward with me.
Well, speaking strictly for myself, my original thought was, you know, not so much mowing kind of maintenance,
Right,
you know, but crack sealing,
Right.
which has to be done every so many years, you know, or will extend the life of the thing, or something for catastrophic failures. All right, you know, a section, the ground underneath a certain part of the trail becomes saturated and everything starts sinking, you know, that, or our bridge, our little Calumet River bridge under the railroad bridge gets washed out by a 500-year flood, or, you know, again, another big rain event, and you know, a culvert appears not to have been big enough, you know, for that event. So in other words, expenses that are over and above what, and I don't know what else to call them, but maintenance rather than, you know, and it may be that we can insure these kind of structures that, you know, especially what a bridge. I don't even know what the bridge is going to be built out of. You know, so I was just looking at preliminary things, and you know, well, my first thought was, you know, banks are actually paying interest. You know, maybe we set up a trust fund and let it earn interest. Obviously, it's not that simple.
No.
And
Is anything ever that simple, Brad?
no, especially once you get the state and anything with TIF on it. And it keeps changing. It's, you know, I mean, it changes every year, the rules. So, you guys as it may, my recommendation is don't spend any money
Okay.
researching this.
Sure.
I don't think it's important enough. You know, and I can see the problem of if we got a big chunk of money in a trust fund somewhere, and some other and I would be in this exact same position, you know, the town needs money desperately for whatever reason. They'll tap into it, just like the federal government taps into the Social Security Trust Fund, you know, I mean, we see it happen, you know, I mean, and so it's not worth pursuing. We can look at insurance, maybe, depending on what everything looks like. We can look at, I think Nina mentioned that at least for the Greenway, somebody is like friend of the Greenway, or
Yes, there's a discussion about, the need to create a like Friends of the Marquette Greenway, which would be kind of an organization, a nonprofit, separate from municipalities that would help oversee exactly kind of the things that Brad's talking about. But that's probably a little far off since the trail's still under construction, but people do see the value in that as part of the trail.
So, there are other people are also thinking about this and, so we'll just let it go.
Well, the trail is ours to insure, and we do have it on our insurance policy, but you're bringing to light, like, what if the bridge fails because of flood? It just cost me a few minutes of my time to call the insurance company and say, what are we truly covered for when we cover this? Would that be covered? Is there an additional insurance policy we could put on it for these?
Rider.
Right, so I wrote notes down, so let me see what I can find out for that at least. And I certainly don't mind calling some of my colleagues and asking a question or two about whether or not they've set up trust using some of their casino money or their VP money and see how they went about it, or if it's even possible,
Well,
right?
if you were building that big bridge across, Norfolk Southern,
Mm-hmm.
at, I don't know how many $1 million, I would definitely want to ensure that, I mean, trains derail, wipe out our bridge.
Right,
Right.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And then, we have some sort of blanket, policy to replace it, but, yeah, that would be good, I think,
I'll see what I can find out for you.
right.
At least put your mind at ease a little bit if they say, oh yeah, we'd cover this, but we won't cover that. At least you guys would know.
Well, they'll probably want to know lots of questions about the bridge on the little cat, the cat isn't built yet, and I don't think we even have it designed yet.
Well, I certainly don't mind scheduling a meeting. You could sit down with them.
Do we have?
I'm sure you love talking about insurance as much as I do. No, I will ask some questions and I will put the bridge on their radar too, just so, I mean, certainly,
Yeah.
so they know. We got time.
How high it is above flood stage and all,
Okay.
stuff.
All right. I'll get back to you on it.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Jane?
Oh, sorry. No, that was on me. No, that's all I have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Clay, do you have anything for us? Okay, do we have any engineers on?
Mhm.
All right.
I provided a printed report that you have before you, so I won't do a report out. I'll wait till we jump down to old business.
All right. And do we don't have the school board guy on there? Okay, any correspondence? Or send us any mail, hate mail, love mail, nothing. All right,
Okay,
Money?
Postcards?
sorry.
I have to send some. All right, Marquette Greenway update. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just begin with phase 1A, which is the project overseen by Ava Marsh and Gary Up. We did hold our first pre-construction meeting on October 6th. That is to make introductions between the various firms and National Park and the town, and then talk about the specifics of initiating the project to get started. Because of the BP invoice issue, our permit for this project for right-of-way crossing has been delayed. So we are monitoring that situation with the negotiations with BP, because that could impact the actual start of this project. So we're working to resolve that matter. Meanwhile, Gary Up is waiting to kind of on a day by day kind of basis, wait to hear from us to see whether or not we have to initiate a 60 to 90 day delay on the start of the project. Right now, if we have to go that route, there doesn't seem to be any kind of financial implication. We would still basically just be doing everything in early winter. We would still be, at that time, we would be up against the VAT deadline of March 31st to get trees down and cleared before that date. So those are kind of the two factors that would go into that. So we are just again monitoring that situation, but the teams are ready to go. Any questions on phase one? Okay.
No. Have we exceeded the VAT deadline for October? What was that date?
That actually opens the season in which you can begin to clear trees.
Right, so when was that date where we start clearing? Isn't that
October 31st.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we still haven't
technically the
cleared yet.
project wouldn't mobilize until November 1st.
Okay.
But they could begin some of the site prep now, if we had the BP right away permit, which we do not have. On phase two, the RTP section, it's my Avon Marsh and Reeve Riley has completed the punch list items. We're waiting on final invoicing from both parties. And then at this point, I think I'll just go ahead and give a brief update on the BP invoice. And I don't know if Attorney Patton, you want to speak to that or.
After you do.
All right, so we have been in contact with BP with respect to the overage that we are disputing is an amount that exceeds our contract. We've identified some individuals within BP that are helping to facilitate the conversation and review of the invoice. So we are more actively engaged in a team of BP staff that are assisting in the review of the invoice and our concerns of the overage. But we do not have a specific time in which that will be resolved. It's our hope that a month from now, we would be coming back to the board with a clear understanding of where we of that resolution.
Hopefully email one before then.
Yes. We have expressed the urgency to VP that two of our projects are being held up because of the review and that places an additional stress on the town in not being able to advance those projects in a timely manner. They are aware of our concerns at this time. I think that concludes the report for Marquette update.
All right, anybody have any questions about Marquette? Comments, questions, concerns? Nothing? No. All right, moving on to new business, the Gary Up construction trailer. I don't know if you all saw the email back and forth. Gary Up was asking about putting a construction trailer on the Westport site there. So I got that information from Corinne. I passed it on to Lori and Tina. We've been in communications with Gary Up and with the building department on what it is that they need to do to move forward to be able to put that there. I don't think we have any action from anybody here today.
No, we just want to make you aware of the situation when the Portage Marquette Greenway project was underway. Gary Up was the contractor on that project. They used the 4-acre site to stage some of the material for the bridge installation. So all they would like to do is have a construction trailer, electric only, have it here on the 4-acre site because it's a nice spot for them to be able to manage the project that is kind of off Stanley Street and so forth. So
Anyone have questions about that? Okay. Oh, yes.
When was the projected placement of the trailer? When are they trying to bring it in?
So this is part of we're waiting on BP to know if they're gonna be able to bring it in,
Okay,
right?
So they can, if the BP permit is resolved quickly, they have a trailer at a different site that they would bring over and place here. If the BP situation goes longer and we move the project start into 2024, they would not bring that trailer over here during that time.
Okay.
So that's my understanding.
just because after going through everything, I mean, obviously so it sounds like it needs to come to the plan commission and it needs to get approval through the plan commission. I see that as kind of a formality. It's just the fact that we've already met this month. We wouldn't meet again until the first Monday of November. That's why I'm asking. I mean, if it's nothing that would conflict with that, then I don't see an issue waiting until November for that approval. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't see an issue at all.
Okay.
It's just the fact of the timing.
Yeah.
So,
Which is.
and as far as the utilities and it being electric only, reading through our town code, apparently I'm the person, for whatever reason, that can make that administrative decision. There's not a problem with it being electric only. That would be my 2 cents at least.
Okay.
Well, we can stay in communication with the planning commission to let you know as between now and your next meeting, what's happening with on the RDC side and Geary Up. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything? Approval of claims register,
I'll make a motion.
Second,
any discussion? Roll call please.
Commissioner Tuplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
yes,
Commissioner McCall,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Approval of financial report for the month of September 2023.
Make a motion to approve. I second it.
Any discussion?
Real quick, there are some contracts on there, Tina, board, that I'm not sure if they need to be on there anymore. So if there are contracts on that list that you feel don't need to be on there anymore, or contracts I have missed that need to be added so that you guys can track that, please let me know. Some of them I'm just kind of going, yeah, it looks like this project's still going on, I should leave it on there. So. Just let me know. Thank you.
All right. Roll call please.
Commissioner McCall,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
yes,
Commissioner Tuplan,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right, good of the order, any other business? I have something. I would like to congratulate Jane. Jane won Northwest Indiana Influential Woman of the Year award. It's super awesome, so thank you, congratulations. Well deserved. Do you want to share your speech with us?
My speech was non-existent because the evening. That's not part of it. You go up, they announce your name, what category you want in, and you receive your trophy and get a photo, and then they.
So you just Miss America way?
Right. So there was no speeches that I needed to prepare.
How much was the cash prize?
It was not. I wish it was. I got a fancy medal saying I was a finalist. Then I got a very nice glass statue, blown glass statue, or, you know, as the, the winner.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. It was a wonderful evening. Over 800 people were there, and
well,
where was it at? It was in Maryville at the Avalon. Yes, it was open bar, but you had to get 2 drinks because you weren't gonna wait in line a second.
Right back to Burns Harbor.
Right.
She had place card in her.
Oh, dear me.
Right in the window.
If you're calling me, that means you've already. Like you've been booked.
It was a wonderful evening, well attended, a lot of great winners from all over the region. Lots of women, well deserving.
Very good, you're well deserving as well, Jane, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alright, does anybody else have anything? Alright. Someone's done.
I'll make a motion to, no,
I said someone's got to have something.
make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Any discussion? Roll call please, Jill.
Commissioner Copeland,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner McCart,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know, right?